No matter how hard we try, I will never be able to, and you will never be able to humiliate Donald Trump as much as Donald Trump humiliates Donald Trump. It seems like he's going out of his way to expose his cognitive decline, to shoot himself in the foot constantly, and mock and embarrass everyone around him. And tonight, that included Melania, where a cognitively declining Trump made an insane admission about their relationship, or really lack thereof, that has everybody stunned. We are going to get into it all, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into the shock admission that Donald Trump made about him and Melania's non-existent relationship, the divorce rumors are about to get really, really loud. I want to start with where Donald Trump began his speech in front of congressional Republicans tonight, touting fake investments while looking very sick. Just take a look at his makeup-covered hand.
We have so many different, but what we're really here to celebrate is Christmas. So I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, a very Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. Whatever it may be, it's going to be happy, and we're going to have a fantastic year. We have a fantastic year coming up. You know, never in our country have we had investment like has taken place over the last 10 months. We have $18 trillion plus already, and I think by the end of the year it'll be over $20 trillion. That's more than any nation anywhere in the world at any time by quadruple. In the previous administration, just to give you a little fact, not to be hostile, but they had less than $1 trillion over 4 years. So we have 18, I think we'll have 20, but we have 18 over 10 months. So that's some number.
Yes, Donald Trump's favorite economic figure to talk about fake numbers. And that's just what it is. When Donald Trump says he has brought more investments into America than the size of our GDP, I think you can go ahead and guess that he's lying. And it's funny because a lot of these commitments that Donald Trump touts and Donald Trump brags about, and Donald Trump somehow invokes Joe Biden when talking about, like the deal he made with the EU. There is no commitment for private investment in the United States because it's just that. It's private investment. It cannot be compelled by these governments. It's not going to happen. And so Donald Trump is just pretending that he's the greatest deal maker in the world because it makes him feel so special, but he's anything but that. He is just a very confused bigot flailing as his presidency does the same. And it is why when Donald Trump was in a room full of Republicans, he thought he would lean on the only thing that ever unites them, and it's certainly not him right now amid his Epstein controversy, it's racism. So yeah, he chalked some of that up.
Good job, Tom. You are a difficult man. And Tom is very friendly with the Somalians. You know, he's doing a great job. He's a big fan. He's a big fan of Somalia. Anyway, he said, please correct that. Anyway, thank you, Tom, very much. Thank you. He's a great guy. He's done a fantastic job, and we really appreciate it. And you have so many members of the House and the Senate, but I just want to thank a few of them, and I do mean it. I think it's fantastic that we're all here together.
Great. Let's attack Somalis because just haven't done enough of that. Yeah, that just seems to be Donald Trump's go-to move at this point. And why? Because he understands in this moment he is weak and he is flailing and his own movement is crumbling before his very eyes. We have to be well aware of the fact that the same Donald Trump who at the beginning of this presidency and throughout so much of it would lead you to believe that he was inevitable, he was unbeatable, he was unstoppable, that his authoritarian project couldn't be halted. There's no obstacles that could have been put in place. This very same guy is facing resignations left and right. Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about possibly toppling Mike Johnson, whether it be with more Republicans leaving the House or going after him directly. That is what Donald Trump is staring down right now. He is embarrassed and he is weak, not just with his own MAGA movement, but also, of course, in his relationships. And he actually referenced one of those before we get to the Melania news.
I went to the hospital, and they actually thought he wasn't going to make it. His wife was devastated. She was crying. I tell the story. I found out that night you have a wife that loves you dearly. I know many wives would not even be crying. But your wife was absolutely a mess. She was crying. She was inconsolable, Steve. So we found that out, but he made it. And then he went.
So Donald Trump talking about how he knows that a lot of people don't have that great of a relationship with their significant other. Now, why would Donald Trump say that? And if you watch that clip closely, you could take a look at Melania's face. She wasn't all that entertained. Or maybe it's because she knows it hits a little close to home, which is certainly the case because Donald Trump, in the middle of just a tirade that made no sense, decided he was going to give everyone a look into his relationship with Melania.
Well, I just heard about that for the first time. The only thing I can tell you, I know one thing for sure, Mr. Speaker. It's going to be great. It's going to be great for children. Okay? I don't know what it is she's doing, but I know it's going to be great for children because she loves children, and she's got a wonderful boy, and she's very proud of her boy, but she loves children, and if she puts it out, it'll be maybe unanimous again or whatever that was, but very close, unanimous again. I want to thank you all. Have a great Christmas, a great Hanukkah, and a fantastic year, but we're going to have a great 3 years, 4 years, 10 years. We're going to make it great. Our country is going to be strong, safe, rich. It's going to be great. We're going to make America great again. Thank you, everybody.
He has no idea what she's doing in her role as First Lady. Do they not talk? What do they talk about? Are they around each other? One thing is very clear, and it is that we have seen less Melania than we have of any First Lady in American history in this Trump term. So it leads you to believe one thing. Melania is just not around. And Melania doesn't have to be around, and Melania doesn't want to be around. Sure, when it means $40 million for her movie, the documentary about her that nobody's going to watch, sure, she'll stick around. When it's the meme coin, sure, she'll stick around. But when it's actually interacting with Donald Trump behind closed doors, when it's not contractually obligated, it's just not happening. Again, Donald Trump is weak. Donald Trump is pathetic. Donald Trump is embarrassing himself every single day. And it is so broad, so wide-reaching, and he so badly does not want us to know. Even though he blurted it out about Melania, that there's clearly some separation between them. There's also separation between Donald Trump and his own Republican Party right now, and the easiest place to spot that is in Indiana. And Pete Buttigieg, alongside Chris Hayes, broke it all down tonight.
Political organizing helped. So I went to Indiana in September. We had a rally with hundreds of people, about 1,000 people filling that atrium of the State House. And it demonstrated that the people of Indiana, again, still a very conservative state, but they did not think that this was right. And every time that the forces aligned with the president tried to stage a rally, trying to show popular support for what they were doing, it fell flat. They could only get a few dozen. And I think that's especially important at a time like this where a lot of people at home are wondering if they have any power at all. A big part of how Trumpism works is to make you feel totally disempowered, to make him feel inevitable. And yet the clear takeaway from this is he is not unstoppable, and you are not without power. A whole bunch of people stood up, rallied in the State House, made those phone calls, the exact kind of old-fashioned political organizing things that some of us asked, does this still matter? Does this still work? It clearly had an effect, stiffening the spines of these Indiana Senate Republicans who, in the end, had this vote, and it wasn't even close.
And part of what I was chuckling about today when I was looking at the roll call is that this is a state that's already, Donald Trump won it by 20 points, Republican state. You would expect a big majority of the members of Congress to be Republicans. In fact, they are. It's a 7-2 state. It seems roughly okay. And, Indianapolis is a Democratic area. That was part of what was being discussed. Are we going to cut it up the way they have in Tennessee with Nashville? But the Senate is, what is it? It's like 40-10 or something. So it's like, we're not talking about, we're talking about maps that are aren't already pretty gerrymandered.
It's not like they were super level to begin with, but they really went over the top. Openly talking about a 9-0 map means you're openly saying the election will be decided before the first vote is cast. And people in Indiana, even Republicans, said they didn't want anything to do with that.
It was interesting because a number of folks got up today and said that. They said, I'm going to vote no because my constituents don't want the district to be withdrawn. To be withdrawn, which I thought was, refreshing in that it does seem to speak to your point that organizing and general sort of mechanisms of responsiveness, which I think we all worry are being broken, are still working in some places.
Exactly. It is still possible to use political pressure, even outside of an election year, to remind legislators who they work for and to encourage them to do the right thing, especially when they know deep down that the sort of thing the White House is pressuring them to do is wrong. And if it can happen here, it can happen in so many other cases on so many other issues. So for folks who feel like, I can't wait till the next election to flex some political muscle as a citizen, I would say now is the time to use those tactics, not the tactics of fear and intimidation that Donald Trump tried to deploy, but the tactics of organizing and talking to people, calling, writing. I know it can sound quaint, but when you do that in force, it clearly is more powerful than the toolkit that the president was trying to use to literally frighten these people into doing his will.
Yeah, how much, I want you to comment on that, because, we've obviously, I think in the wake of Charlie Kirk's murder, there's been a long conversation about political violence. I just had a conversation with Benjamin Wallace Wells, the New Yorker, about it this week on our podcast, Why Is This Happening? And, one of the things that you hear from electeds is that it really does loom over people. Like, they really do think about it. Yep. And it gets in their head. And when someone calls in a bomb threat to your house or your business, particularly you're a state rep, it's not like you don't have security. Right. You move through the world like you were an insurance agent, right? There's no difference, right? How much do you think that hangs over all this?
It's absolutely a factor. We've seen this for years. I think it was a profile of Mitt Romney was the first time I read an account of U.S. senators, this was during the impeachment, changing their votes because of the fear of violence. But the thing about political violence is if you give in to it, there will be more. Yeah. If you stand up to it, there will be less. The only antidote to that kind of politics of fear is a politics of courage. And that's what we saw here. It's kind of spell that only works if you believe in it. And I would say the same is probably true for those mob boss tactics that we saw coming out of the Heritage Foundation. I mean,
that was wild.
Yeah. So let's see. Is the president going to follow through on his threat and close guard bases and stop paving roads in Indiana? Let's see. But obviously, these legislators were smart enough to face that down, to call BS. And now we will show just how thin, how flimsy, how just not credible that kind of talk is. And when you stand up to it once, there's more and more opportunities to do so. This is the thing that Republicans actually are starting to show, maybe sooner than Democrats, that they understand, which is that Donald Trump will not be a political force in this country forever. And so from the Indiana Senate Republican caucus to the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene, they are beginning to think past Donald Trump. Democrats need to do the same.
The fracturing is clear, and it is making Donald Trump crazy. It is why we are going to continue to talk about it every single day on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Keep on fighting, y'all. Don't let them silence you. And until next time, I'll see you soon.